Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the tier 10 Japanese carrier, the Hakuryuu again. Today I'm against a Midway, and this is a good game to showcase that, in my opinion at least, the Hakuryuu definitely is a stronger carrier ship right now than the Midway. I mean, yes, it is very likely that the enemy carrier player isn't as good as I am, but I still think that the Midway is weaker right now. The main reason is that she relies on dive bombers, which are much larger drop size than Japanese ones. This means that they are essentially much more RNG, and I just can't stand RNG, especially on carriers, because it takes such a long time to do an attack. It's like, what if we had RNG whether torpedoes would go where they are pointing or not? Like, that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? I tried strafing here, but I think I messed up quite a bit here. But then again, it's okay because there's so many allied ships around that guy is gonna lose all his fighters. I don't know where to go. I kind of want to pull his fighters away. Since I don't see any of his other planes, I'm gonna pull my fighters back, at least one group. The other one's gonna go around trying to disrupt his attacks on my allies. Since I think he might be only one fighter squadron, I'm gonna use this opportunity to go strike the enemy ships, try to pick off a straggler, so to say, which in this case is this battleship right here on the edge. Because I absolutely cannot strike into a big fleet. Nobody can anymore. You kinda used to be able to as long as they didn't use the anti-air ability, but not anymore. You definitely can't. Your planes will just die immediately. That is a Kagera. A Kagera would have been a good strike, but I mean, also there's planes at my ship. Kagera would have been a good chance, but you need time and room to maneuver, and you can't do this next to a New Orleans, Yamato and Tirpitz. Anyways, I'm not very worried about the enemy carrier attacking me, which is why I'm not really focusing on it. I pull my second fighter squadron back, and, you know, as I knew I would need this fighter squadron, I used it, and because I am the anti-air spec, look what happens to these planes. Poof! They don't even reach my goddamn ship! And now I'm gonna get an anti-air consumable too. I mean, yes, of course. The reason why this stuff happens... Oh, look, see, did you just see that RNG? He was not under attack. Those were not panicked planes. They just missed completely. Yes, they only had 3, I think, but still. I mean, like, this RNG I had was excellent compared to that. But yeah, essentially, of course, the planes have to fall out of the sky if I'm going into an anti-air spec. I am using valuable points that I could have used to make my plane stronger, instead on making my ship have stronger anti-air, so of course it has to have an effect. But the thing is that the Midway can actually do something similar, like, it's not a problem. The issue is just that well, the Midway has to rely on luck, and it just doesn't work as well on attacks that take like 5 minutes to do compared to like other attacks. Also, I kind of missed the fact that my planes were ready. Anyways, I tried to follow this squadron so I can strafe behind for more damage. So I think the enemy Midway has kind of given up at this point, at least attacking me. Like, if you saw, like, he would never just fly this right in the middle, just like that. So at this point he was probably like, fuck this with the earlier attack, because all his planes got shot down by one fucking fighter squadron, and the rest was shipment here. The thing is that this is only really applicable at tier 10. It doesn't work at other tiers, because shipment tier doesn't get as strong. But this kind of anti-air stuff is what I mean. Like, battleships and similar could have had this kind of anti-air for a long time. Most of them just never spec'd into it, so of course it's not going to be super strong. Anyways, I'm gonna use my fighters for scouting to pick off his planes and potentially pick off torpedoes. Also, to make it so that our DDs maybe won't be just perma-spotted by the enemy fighters. But then again, he is still a Midway. His planes are strong, especially since I am the anti-air spec. If I fight head-on, I'm going to die. Like, really fucking hard. So I need to use these ships for cover and stuff. Otherwise, and this is just to make it equal. Otherwise, I'm just going to lose. But like, this is a bad idea. He is next to a Montana and Yamato. I don't care what planes you have. They are going to die. Like, I didn't even have to shoot a single bullet with fighters against fighters to kill them. So now I can focus more of my ammo and torpedo bombers, which I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna also strafe my friendly dive bombers down. Only 2 of them, luckily though. This is something I didn't notice at the time at all, but I guess it does happen. I'd really like to pick this Hakuryuu, or at least somebody would be great if somebody did. So I'm gonna do a drop from behind, and wanna guess what's inside that smoke? A Kutuzov, which means I can't do shit because it's a fucking tier 8 cruiser, and apparently that is, I think it is at least a Kutuzov. Yep, it is. Like, it's a tier 8 cruiser, but it has ridiculously powerful anti-air, especially if they use their anti-air ability. Like, planes just go poof, regardless if they're tier 10 or not.
Standing by for instructions. Over.
Concentrate fire on the enemy warship.
So, defending my Montana again. The thing with strafing is that it's a bit risky. Like, if you can't wipe out the squadron, it's going to cause troubles. And I think I should have tried to strafe after all. Might have been able to kill more of them. The other thing that strafing is nice for is the fact that enemy planes don't shoot back, so the rare gunners can't, like, destroy you. Anyways, now it's time for revenge. Which isn't gonna do anything because my planes are just gonna die. That's why I'm gonna try to drop really fucking far away. At least I would like to, but it doesn't matter because it's a Kutuzov. Kutuzovs are fast and maneuverable, and they're cruisers, and they're tier 8, and they have a shit ton of HP for a tier 8 cruiser. Anyways, attacking Kutuzovs is bad, you know, or attacking near a Kutuzov is bad. And because Kutuzovs are like everywhere because they are really strong ships, well, playing carriers isn't the greatest thing, especially if the enemy has tier 8s. But whatever. At this point I would like to damage this North Carolina. Like right now I'm just trying to put out as much damage as possible so that my team can crush the enemies. Yes, it is nice if I spot the enemy DD and torpedoes and all that stuff, but that's kind of difficult to do with enemy fighters still flying around and enemies having many Kutuzovs, Yamatos and similar that have really powerful anti-air. Oh, that was a lucky drop. 2 fires on 5 bomb hits. That's pretty good. Like, I need to run away from his 1 fighter squadron. I probably can't even take him on if I use both of them. Or maybe if I can, I'll only have like a few planes left. Like, I definitely need to like strafe stuff to have a chance of even winning. But luckily the enemy Midway has probably given up already, so it seems he is just feeding me planes at this point. But yeah, I find that often if you break a carrier player's spirit, the game's kinda over for the enemy carrier. Like, he starts doing sloppy things over and over, and like, he isn't a threat anymore. Like, he could have done a proper strike on me again, or at least tried to sneak by and all that, but he never did. After that first strike failed so spectacularly, it just never happened. But yes, I do think the anti-air consumable that they're adding is a good idea, because it will prevent, like, it'll make it so you don't have to be an anti-air spec Hakuryuu to not get sniped. On the other hand, it will be very nice if I can not spec for anti-air on a Hakuryuu, so my planes don't instantly die, but take 10-20% longer than instantly to die, which is still instant, but that's just details. Like, most of the time in Hakuryuu, you'll be fighting like Tirpitz, North Carolinas, Iowas, and their anti-air is strong enough to wreck you, which is odd, because they are lower tier, but it is still strong enough. By the way, if you attack a plane, you can actually, if you align the strafe properly, you can actually go from locking a plane down to strafing. And that's interesting because this enables you to... did you see that? A Tirpitz just wiped all my planes. Fucking Tirpitz. It's fucking tier 8. Remember how Tirpitz started out? They didn't have a fighter plane and their anti-air was complete garbage. And now they wiped the Hakuryuu squadron before it even got close enough to drop. Hakuryuu squadron. Wow. I guess the Kutuzov probably did help a bit because she probably had some guns in range. Still though, the Tirpitz definitely has quite decent anti-air nowadays in my opinion. Like, I definitely do not want to be close to a Tirpitz in my Hakuryuu with my planes. Because the planes are just gonna go poof. But at this point we just need to push in. We can still give our advantage away, I think, but I think it's rather unlikely. The nice thing about having two fighter squadrons is that you can do stuff like this. Which is, if he attacks one of your planes, you just fly away and strike with the other one. Or you can just lock and strike both of them down if you don't mind friendly fire, but at this tier, one strafe isn't enough to wipe a Midway squadron, so you kinda can't do that. You need to soften them up first. I would still like to kill this Kutuzov, just for revenge. The one thing I don't like about the Hakuryuu is the unresponsiveness of the UI, so you can get screwed by it because you have so many squadrons that you need to click to move them around, but UI can't accept as many commands apparently, because it has all these weird transitions that don't make sense. It's like, compare World of Tanks to World of Warships. You know when you die in tanks and you click the left mouse button, it instantly jumps to another tank. In World of Warships it has this transition animation which takes time, and that's annoying. Still have a DD left, but I don't think the Kagero can do all that much. It's just really annoying to drop on a Japanese destroyer, but it's possible, so I'll try. One from behind, then try to do another from the side, but people have got wise to these kinds of drops, so they don't work nearly as well as they used to, which is sad. Well, nothing happened. Oh well. And this is why I don't like dropping Kageros or DDs in general, because if you miss, you just spent like 3 or 4 minutes doing 0 damage or even having any impact on damage. Wow, the Yamato is still alive. I guess I'll try to burn him down then. I mean, again, we are in the lead, but not by that much actually. They could turn it around in some way. Also, the enemy Midway has finally died. So let's just eat some planes for free plane kills for stat padding, obviously. Also, you should always stat pad with strafing, because well, it means you're not gonna lose your fighters and it takes less time. I mean, what else do I use the fighters for? It's not I'm gonna fly them around the enemy battleships to try to get them to use their... also, Yamatos have strong anti-air, which is why I'm doing a super long range drop. I mean, again, like,
what else are you gonna use them for? To hit the enemy battleship fighter? That's just doesn't work as nicely because well, sometimes they just don't kill the fighter on time, and the battleship NTR just picks your fighter off instead. Also, again, long-range drops are important against them because they just have such strong NTR, which is fine in my opinion. I'm just saying that it's not like you can't defend yourself. You definitely can. But the Kagura is still alive and she's the last man standing, so I guess I have to... Oh, never mind. Somebody else took care of her, luckily for me. Okay, so 400k credits, 15,000 experience. This is mostly to the multipliers, but 55 planes shot down, and the Witherer and an Arsonist. I think those are from the Yamato, because I definitely hurt her quite a lot. 2200 base experience, which is really good in a carrier, but our A division definitely did very well. The Yamato, Montana, and the Fletcher. I don't know about the Fletcher, but the Montana and Yamato definitely did well. Like, the way they pushed was really good, because this enabled a lot of room for me. I did 70,000 fire damage. Like 165, 170k damage, and 254k profit. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.